Hello and welcome to Dear Ijay. This is where we add value to your spirit, body, mind, and soul. Please join us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Remember, no pretense, no judgment. And this is how it works. People write to us about a problem or a challenge, and we share a summary of their writing and try to help them with suggestions. I am a trained psychologist, and combined with human experience, I hope to be of help. Let's go there. Now, this letter is from James. James writes, Dear Ijay, I love my girlfriend. It's nice to start a letter. I love my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend, but she's ill-mannered. She's rude, and it is clear that she has very poor upbringing. I try to teach her better ways to carry herself and interact with people, but she's not receptive. She's woke. She's quick to get into fights with anybody. She complains that I want to change her, and she's actually right. I'd like to change that aspect of her. She's a good person, but she's ever ready to start an argument, fight, quarrel with the slightest provocation. It is a problem for me, and seriously, I'm now thinking of dumping her. But she has a good heart. My fear is if I dump her, will I find someone like her? Thank you, James. You love her. So the question is, do you really love her? What is love? So for me, the comfortable definition of love is, the Christian definition in the Bible. But there's that definition, if I was to add to it, it's also about self-love. So you love yourself, you build yourself up, and what you have inside is what you now feel so excited about sharing with someone else. So you build up this self-appreciation, self-worth, self-patience, self-everything that the Bible said or the Quran said, and then you now start looking for somebody you can share that with. So the excitement of wanting to share is what makes love. Some people say love is giving, love is accepting, because now you have so much goodness you want to share with someone. But in reality, sometimes you may not have goodness, you may have other things, because you can only give what you have. So the first question is, do you love her? Because if you love her, there's a commitment factor that comes up with love. You have to make that choice every day, because nobody is perfect. So in choosing to love her every day, you have to love her flaws, you have to love her imperfections. And I always tell people, I encourage people to use the 80-20 Pareto's rule. If the person has 80% of what you want or what you like, the other 20% you don't love, you don't like, you have to be able to manage. But if that 80% is not able to cover the multitude of sins of the 20%, you may have to reevaluate if that in fact is love or the type of love you want. You also have to be careful, because you cannot change a person. You can inspire a person to change. The person might decide to change because of you, but the change has to come from them. Change is a self-evolving process. That means for a reason, maybe that thing is not working for me, or maybe somebody has inspired me, I decide to change and I start making those steps. But you have to, if you love her, you have to make sure you have the patience to show her the alternative behavior. You have to have the patience to manage the fact that it may take her some time to get to be well-mannered. But for right now, I want you to really think about how much her ill-manneredness actually affects you. And I also want you to be mindful that if your influence is not strong enough to overcome her ill-manneredness, she might actually affect you. I always tell people, be careful about your environment. You might be busy criticizing somebody, but if that character that you don't like is so overwhelming, is so strong, is so influential, it might start overwhelming you and you become more like the person that you're criticizing. So also be sure that your well-manneredness is strong enough to overwhelm her ill-manneredness. Otherwise, take a walk so you don't become like her. Your environment matters. I know there's this argument about nature and nurture. Your environment matters. If you're in a place and the environment overwhelms the good factor or good aspect of who you are, you become like the environment. It's like osmosis in primary school where they say osmosis. You absorb what is in your environment and you spill out what you have. If that thing you're spilling out is not strong enough, when it's juxtaposed to your environment will swallow you, that's for sure. So we don't also want you to become ill-mannered because you're with her. And how that happens is quite an exciting thing, because I'm saying exciting like a researcher. Because if you watch people, they don't even know the changes occurring, that you're being affected by your spouse or your girlfriend or your friends. It happens seamlessly, because if the power of that environment is strong enough, it will overwhelm whatever you have. And also be careful. We don't want to downplay how irritated you are by how she is. When you get married, those irritants multiply 100-folds. The intensity multiplies. But above all, in evaluating how she is, it's not really about the ill-mannered behavior that is my worry. My worry is that, do your values actually align? Because value alignment is very important. So for instance, when you talk about your upbringing, what are the value systems behind? Because it sounds like you say she's a good person. What is that thing about her that is good? So let me give you a tip about value system evaluation. A lot of people don't take time doing this when they are dating, including myself. I wish I knew this and I practiced it when I was out there, but it's not late for a lot of you. So let me give you, there are 7 of them, but I think I'll be able to run through maybe 5 of them. The first one is the evaluation of what love is, the value. What is love to that person? And it starts with self-love. How does this person love themselves? How do they treat themselves? Because they can only treat you as well as they treat themselves. Look at how they carry themselves, their sense of self-worth, because it is that will now define how they will love others. The next one is the spiritual one, the spiritual value. What's their relationship with God like? Do they go to church? Do they go to the mosque? Do they believe in any religion at all? How disciplined are they? You two have to be complementary in some way when it comes to that. Because say if somebody, maybe you're of the same religion, but one person is more intense than the other, sometimes it ends up not working out, because as the relationship grows, you get irritated by that. You also think about, you now go to the physical. Physical, you're thinking superficially, are they attractive sexually? Are you attracted to them? They might have a scar that you don't like, irritates you, makes you feel like they are imperfect. Take all those things into calculation. But the better part of physical values that you should look into are things that have to do with health. Their eating habits, their nutrition, their exercise habit, what they think about keeping fit. Are you guys complementary? It doesn't mean you have to be exactly the same. For instance, if the man is going to the gym, the lady may not be a gym person, but she'll say, you know what, I don't like gym, but can we take a walk? Or they'll say, the man might say, I don't wake up early, I like going to the gym. The woman might say, okay, I really want you to keep fit, I'll help you wake up in the morning. So there's this support system based on that value. So in the physical valuation, so we've done 3 of them now. The other one that you need to look into as well is the social values. What are your social values? And that might be what James is referring to with his girlfriend. That has social values, she gets triggered by the slightest provocation, she's ready to fight. That might mean that the way she communicates is unhealthy. That's what she learned. So you need to observe your partner's or your girlfriend or your boyfriend's communication style while you're dating, because when you marry, that's what they're going to bring in. The conflict resolution styles, those are social aspects. There's also the financial values. How do they relate to money? What is their financial literacy index? Some people don't know anything about money. They just know it's there to be spent. There are 4 aspects you have to look out for when you're evaluating the value of finances with your partner or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Is how do they spend, how do they save, how do they invest, and how do they manage money. And within those things, there must be some level of alignment. Two spendthrifts will be bankrupt. So if both of you don't even align, one person must complement or strengthen the weakness of another. So these are issues that you have to discuss in a relationship. So I'm thinking, like in your situation where you say she's ready to fight anybody, she's ill-mannered, it means that something is off or misaligned with your social values. So you need to go and visit that. Having said that, I want you to take out time with your girlfriend and tell her exactly what your idea of a well-mannered woman is. Don't point to any human being, just tell her. Say, I think a well-mannered woman is one who talks with a soft tone, who listens and is not easily agitated, and just really talk to her. You'll be surprised. The power of communication is underestimated. Anyway, that's it for me. But before I leave, please like, share, and subscribe to Dear Ijay on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Remember, be happy, be healthy, and please keep it positive. Until next time, that's it from me. Thank you.